smack dab in the middle of it, 587.
TDB in the house. And we are having some old today.
7572 from the 80s.
Yeah, because we had the 97 and we're like, I think it could use some more time. It's just not quite there yet, this old ripe. So here we are.
Yeah.
This one should hopefully be good.
So do you ever seek these out?
Well, this is just a random sample that Taishunhe decided to send with me to an order.
Which is what I'm wondering.
I bought a sample of the 97 7572.
Yeah.
So I guess so.
I would have bought that.
I enjoy these old ripes, or old raws, really, for that matter. I enjoy these old teas. It's kind of like a nice... I don't know, there's something different about the qualities. It's something a little bit more easier going to than doing, I think, probably the next tea that we're going to do.
Yes. Yeah, that's for sure.
It's pretty simple to understand, in my experience, these old teas too.
Especially red.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. One of my favorite recipes, and it smells old. And get in here.
I think I just inadvertently gave that a long Denny rinse.
There you go. Ooh. So savory.
Interesting. And what about you, Denny? When do you drink these old ripes?
Also, sample based. I'd say the oldest ripe that I drink regularly is the 03, that Dai.
Oh, the tool. That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. At this point now. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of between that and the 2010.
Okay.
Year.
I like the old ripes as just kind of like a nice session capper if you have tea with someone, and then you kind of get through the more serious teas. At a certain point, your palate gets a little shot, and I do find that these ripes, or older teas in general, can come through still pretty well, just as kind of like a capper.
Yeah, makes sense, totally. Look how dark that is, it's crazy. Yeah, and it's someone who's never had tea, or the breadth of tea that we tend to enjoy. These tend to have a garden patch character to them that is really unique. I think for someone who's like, oh my god, tea can taste like this, right? And so that can be kind of a nice way to introduce someone to some esoteric flavors. Pretty uncommon to find in I guess wet stored or traditionally processed raw.
Yeah, although you can find sometimes those old oolongs take a little trip to the garden too.
That's true.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. Some tomato vines and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
So it does depend. There are multiple factors.
Yeah.
Storage certainly being a big
This is probably my favorite flavor taste combo of that.
Okay.
If you will.
Yeah.
So.
Get in there.
Yeah. How dark that is. My God. Crazy. And they weren't doing radically different processing at this point in ripe production.
I think maybe a little bit less fermented, possibly, but it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. People say Reaganomics doesn't work, but I think it's trickled down all the way over to us. So thank you, Ronnie.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Deep cut. Watch out.
Ooh, yeah, we're in the garden. We're just immediately in the garden. We're digging through some dirt.
Wow. The viscosity on it is so nice. So velvety. The body on the mouth is just really, the texture is really lovely.
Yeah, this is kind of like a mixture of, it kind of has this nice perfumey higher note to it too, but it kind of mixes the more woody notes with the garden patch. I feel like when we had the 97 fairly recently, that was a little bit more in like the refined antique wood category. I
agree.
A little bit less in the garden than perhaps this tea is.
Yeah, although to your point, this does have that kind of maple wood thing that's happening in it as well. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and look at those leaves. It's just
crazy.
pitch black.
Yeah.
Pretty big too. 7572, so about what you'd expect.
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, in this era, too, Dai was mostly just making these numbered recipes, as far as I understand it. So stuff like, this would be it's still a standard ripe production, but it wouldn't be like, oh, we made this, 8592, this, and like a bunch of 10 different special productions. It'd be like, we made this in 8592 this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Fun.
Yeah.
Cheers. And I think the one thing that I noticed about these teas as they get old is that fruitiness of them really does fade fairly substantially.
Yeah, there's no fruit for me.
Yeah, maybe like whispers of it, but it's more like cherry wood or something like that as opposed to cherry.
Do you think this had some fruity flavors?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, all of those kind of like dark, what do they call like brownanins or something like that? But all of the catechins that change from catechins to these flavor profiles, chemicals in here. God, check out Woo Mountain Tea.
The YouTube
for this stuff. Anyway, yeah, all of those have that kind of like rounder, sweet fruit kind of character to them. And anyway, this is so nice though to say.
Yeah. I think one thing that stands out for me on this tea too is that it just has a strong mouthfeel too.
Yeah.
It feels like the material. I mean, it makes sense that the material is probably a bit better than 2025 7572. But I feel like there's something about the potency that strikes through, even though this tea is so old and it is ripe.
It's like the 7581 in comparison, for example. Maybe it's similar in its flavor composition, but this to me has so much more body, much more texture and thickness. Maybe, that one's just like maybe a little thin, and not that this is wildly dynamic, but a bit more. This one's a bit more active than that, I'd say.
And sometimes the 7581 can have a decent amount of brightness. I think brighter than this, and maybe a little bit less in the wood profile.
Yeah.
I feel like I associate like some dry fruit notes with 7581, especially.
This has some, just sitting here enjoying it, some kind of wood bark vibes to it. Really just like earthy and deep and classic. Not a tea that I would have as this is a specialty. Like you're going to sit and drink this with kind of, I'm assuming for you, right? Like some focus and dedication. Yeah. Like, sure. It
was not intended to be a specialty.
Exactly.
It has become one. Yeah.
Right. It's a blasé recipe that has become aged into something interesting potentially.
Yeah. They're like, I mean, if you ask them what they're doing, they're like, we'll send it to Hong Kong. They'll put it in the basement for a bit. And then
and
then have it with some dim sum.
Two white dudes. No, half white. Excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, man. Nice.
So I do want to question you a bit because you are more familiar with 7572 recipe, and we kind of went through this when we did the other tea too. Right. For me, it's not a recipe I've had recently at all. Does it? I think if we look at the leaves, they do look bigger, so the 7 stacks up. But does it taste like? Is there any reminiscence of 7572 that you drink? I think you drink the 2010 one.
I drink the 2010 one, and just being totally honest about it, I'd say these are pretty far apart. I mean, like, I'm sure if we had them back to back, we'd notice the comparison.
Sure.
But this has much woodier, deeper character to it. That's much brighter and fruitier and sweeter. And,
okay.
Not as savory.
Okay.
This has much more of a savory character to it that's really developed over time. So, yeah. And I don't know, but that 7572 from 2010, maybe we'll get there eventually, Yeah.
You
have enough old, cheap, ripe sitting in a closet somewhere. It ends up somewhere.
Sure.
For good or bad.
I mean, I think with stuff like that, though, I do think a big part of what is juicing up and thickening this tea and creating a lot of that garden character is probably what I presume was Hong Kong storage early on. And if the 2010 7572 never gets that,
right.
I think we're on kind of fundamentally different trajectories too.
Yeah, reasonable for sure. And it's certainly not in my house going to incur any wet storage in any way.
Yeah, unless like your kid drools on it or something, which is a different sort of wet storage.
I think the thing that really is most remarkable about this tea, flavor profile is great, but maybe not like, whoa, I'm so, this is so different. But the body on this is just really next level.
It's a pretty
really nice.
Simple too.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
If you had to guess, would you guess the age of this, do you think? I don't think I would be able to.
I mean, I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, younger is just,
right.
Most of the time we're not drinking 80s ripe, so yeah.
But I mean, even you can get into this flavor profile at a younger age, to your point with the processing. With post-processing, I suppose. Post-processing in Pu'erh. Pu'erh. It's kind of true, though. Anyway. Yeah. This to me tastes like a really nice ripe that I would probably have a hard time placing otherwise. color's still lovely. All right, I'm gonna cut. Oh my good God. We're good. Technical difficulties on set. Get back in here real quick. Yeah, to your point, really nice big leaves. God, material, it's crazy. I wonder if can you just get to this flavor profile in 10 years? I mean, that's kind of like what the Eon thing happens a little bit, you know?
That'd be the closest. And their blend, the best taste. I don't know if you know that blend very well, but it's kind of like their house blend.
Right.
A big part of the base of that is 7572.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so it is.
Oh.
Basically. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought that was their own production. I didn't know that was other tea.
No, I don't know. They're mysterious about what exactly is in it to some extent, but I think they've said some 7572 is a significant part of the blend.
Yeah.
And then obviously the storage plays a huge component.
Right, for sure. Yeah. Well, look, I think for people out there who haven't had a tea like this, Eon probably is going to be the place to get into this category.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the cheapest, most accessible, which you unfortunately can't order from right now. So check them out at the Steeping Room, who is the number one source for Eon right now.
Okay.
Until they sell out.
That's fine.
Then I have heard they're having a hard time getting more. So.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Yeah, it's a strange time in tea, but. Or I guess 7581 is the other place that you could get into this character readily available. I'd say
from Quiche, from the
Quiche.
90s, which is I think a decent tea. Perfectly
yeah. Oh no, I have a lot of it and enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah,
this is definitely a little bit fancier. Yeah,
this is bringing deeper, darker, maybe slightly more refined, but mostly just thicker and richer.
Yeah,
in terms of its composition.
Yeah.
Do one last one here.
Nice.
And then, this tea will go for a bit.
Exactly. And it's kind of rare for you and I to brew out ripe tea on the episodes for this long.
Yeah.
Which is a testament to this tea, I think. The lasting power of it's really nice. And some of these teas are they're lasting because they're so intense and bitter. Mm-hmm. And this one it's pretty consistent, but...
Yeah. And you can see how long I can steep this for. I mean, using a typical ratio for me, in fact, even maybe a little bit more, 1-15 or so. And, I mean, I wouldn't brew a raw like this.
Right.
This just kind of shows you what you can do if you kind of understand. Let's knock off some of those tests. Mom test?
It's so unabrasive, I don't. But the profile is so weird. You know?
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe if you like root beer, if you're like a root beer drinker, I think you would love this.
Mom Root Beer Association.
Yeah, if you're like a gardening root beer, gardening root beer mom, then you're gonna love this.
You found the most profitable cross section right there.
Niche down, bro. Come on,
nailed it.
Facebook marketing. Hello.
Bing.com.
Yeah, I gotta spend that credit we got. $5 on Bing credit.
$6.30.
Woo! Here we go. Big money, baby.
Okay, inside joke.
Yeah.
Wartime test, I think this would do great.
Okay.
I think this is, look how I'm brewing it. It's versatile. This would do well in most any war.
Fair enough. This is probably, I mean, you could be drinking this on the high seas. You could be drinking it in a trench.
Yeah.
You could be drinking it in your, galactic cyber capsule.
Maybe if you're in the mountains, don't drink this because your water's not hot enough. But other than that, I think you're good.
That's a Hanji thing. Very good.
Yeah.
Ultralight test. Yes, actually, this would pass in spades.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
great,
the perfect tea for something like that.
Yeah.
Especially with the viscosity you really want to emphasize. This would just be like drinking syrup at that point. This is very root beer. Is really a good way of putting it. With the compost character. Compost on this not as starchy, turnip, root vegetable-y, a bit more like that mineral-y, black.
Yeah.
Wood digested flavor. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't really have a major problem with the cleanliness of either. I think it's clearly seen some humid storage at some point, and we are in the garden for sure. But it's pretty. I think it's pretty. It has nice clarity to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Quiche.com for this? Is that
I honestly I don't think they list it. Maybe they do. I'm not sure. But you could reach out to Quiche, see if they would list a sample or
on Discord. Definitely do it. I mean, or the 94
97.
There's this 97 that we did, the 7572. I was thinking the 94 8592 we did as well. All three kind kind of not. They're more similar than different.
Sure.
I mean, like,
I would say the 8592 is my least favorite of those.
Fair enough.
I think that's because I find that recipe a little dull. But
yeah, you're wrong, but that's okay.
yeah, 8592, you suck. You're the you guy of the Wu-Tang Clan. The 9th member, the worst one.
Oh dang,
Coming for you.
but yeah, just go find some super old red tea. It's like worth investigating.
Worth a sample.
At least a couple samples.
Yeah, I mean the 97. I know that there are samples, or at least
Yeah, that's true.
so
Yeah.
that would probably be the closest
It's
you could do. And honestly,
not cheap.
I think
but worth it.
you could definitely make a case the 97 is just as good as this.
I think so too. I think they're just different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. I wouldn't be paying like a huge premium for this one versus the 97. Personally.
No. I think the 97 might be more complex, but they have different profiles, and I think a lot of it is different storage.
Yeah,
simply.
yeah. This was maybe a little bit more muddied compared to the.
I think it's a little wetter. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, subscribe, click all the buttons, do other things, and we'll see you guys next time.
Wu-Tang.
Peace.